the things noise does to you. It makes you jittery, and it tends to get you upset. You see how Barnett was frustrated that time that the ball was batted in the air. There's something about noise in a stadium. You know, you say you can't hear the starting count or you can't hear this or that, but it also has a way of making you jittery.
I guess who got a hand on that one? Cortez Kennedy. 6 defensive back, 2nd and 10. Complete to Byers. Byers shy of the first down, needed to get up to about the 33. 8 yards picked up on the play. Tom Catlin, defensive coordinator for the Seahawks, was saying about Randall, yeah, maybe a zone does confuse him, but if he gets a little confused, as you take a look at Tom Catlin with the beard, he says Randall's feet take over, and that is even more dangerous.
Well, again, it brings out the athletic ability in the man. When you add it all up, he's one of the best there is.
Richie Kotite taking a look at his Eagles in a 3rd and 2 situation. Eagles need to get up to the 33. Tom Flores hoping that his defense can do the job.
Wouldn't be surprised if Tom Catlin blitzed here on 3rd down and trying to force Cunningham to throw the ball quickly. You see him up there lining up like they're going to blitz.
And the Hawks defense rises to the challenge. Jeff Eagles comes on to punt for the Eagles.
It was a rather surprising call. It was just a quick trap coming back kind of against the grain, and Seattle had a pass rush stunt on. Porter stunted right into it and just kind of ran into the ball carrier and said, hey, you kicked me in the leg. Here we're going to get us a look at it. Watch Porter now. You see him start up the field. Watch him stunt right back underneath it. Boom. Hits Sekihima right in the head and said, look what I got.
And look at that right leg bent back there. That's what happened. So Porter over to the side. Good to see him walking under his own power, although he is in some pain. Seattle whistles for a timeout, leaving them with 2. Philadelphia full complement remaining of 3. 1:47 left in the first half of play, and we've got a tie ball game, 10-10. Richie Kotite can't be pleased at all with the penalties his team has endured in the first half. 121 yards worth. Eagles, nice punt. Warren back to the 13. And Chris Warren takes it across the 25 to about the 27. Coming up on the Dockers NFL Today halftime report, Greg and Terry will bring you up to date with all the scores, highlights, and also maybe try to sort through some of that playoff picture. That coming up at halftime. A 55-yard punt back here, a 16-yard return by Chris Warren. I was mentioning about the penalty yards for Philadelphia in the first half. 121 penalty yards. Philadelphia, most yards penalized in the club history, 157 yards. That coming in one game back in 1952 and 54. 121 here in the first half. Gelbaugh under pressure, throws it complete, and James Jones still on his feet. Jones takes it up to the 30. A gain of 7 on the play. Boy, Atlanta just walloped Tampa Bay today. Deion Sanders caught a 37-yard touchdown pass.
Well, Seattle's got all 3 timeouts. If they can generate a little something, there's a great matchup going on. Brian Blades and Eric Allen are matched up in this nickel defense. They have 2 timeouts left, rather, and now we get a chance to see if Philadelphia is coming with a blitz matchup between Brian.
And the sack that time to Mike Golick. Second sack of the season for Golick, who did not start today. Philadelphia concerned about its run defense. The coaching staff went to great lengths to say it was not Mike Golick, but the fact of the matter was he did not start, and certainly an inspired play that time.
Well, he played like he was a little bit angry that time.
2 timeouts remaining as we take a look at Tom Flores. The one thing he did indicate to us, John, he's never had a problem with the guy's effort throughout the season.
No, they have stayed with him, and he has done a great job. There's no man in the NFL that I respect more than Tom Flores, and it's hard probably for people to believe, but he's done a great job this year.
Less than a minute to play, and Reggie White comes through and picks up a sack on the ball game. 10.5 on the season for Reggie White. Makes it 120.5 for his career. And Philadelphia calls another timeout. The Eagles have 1 remaining.
Here we get a look at Reggie White right on the center. They're trying to do this, so he's just got 1 man to block him. Notice there's somebody on the guards, and he just has Toffelmeyer on him, and he doesn't stay on him very long. That's the proper use of a great player to give him a chance to do his thing. It's a mismatch. They take advantage of it in a big sack. It was a time when Seattle could have probably been better served if they had run a draw play, not to take the big loss. Now they've lost field position. There's still 46 seconds. Philadelphia's going to have a chance to get out and get some points.
The only man in the NFL and in NFL history with more sacks in games played, and you see where Reggie came into the ball game with 119.5, trailing only Lawrence Taylor. He'll get that before it's over. 46 seconds. Tatum's punt nearly blocked from the 49. Sukahima. Flag on the play as Sukahima takes it inside the 45. A 39-yard punt, 7-yard return. There is a flag on the play.
Well, Rich Kotite has to be furious. This penalty may very well take points away from Philadelphia. They have a chance to have great field position here. They're going to lose an additional 10 yards. That's when you'd like to run out on the field and tell the guy that got the penalty.
Illegal use of the hands in the back, number 33 on the.
That's Rich was there saying, hey, you know, you like to find that guy and say, hey, you walk home.
That's William Frizzell.
He said, Coach, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. It wasn't my fault. Somebody else did it. I confess it was somebody else. But, you know, that's where you have to be a smart football player when you have a chance. You know, you can't be perfect all the time, and you've got to be aggressive. But there's no question that really hurt them. They have 37 seconds. They've got to get inside the 30, so they've got to travel about 25 yards. The big thing here is to keep Brandon Cunningham back in the pocket, not let him get out and scramble.
9 penalties for 131 yards in the first half against the Eagles. You mentioned where Ruzick would have to get. He's got a season long of 50 against Denver. 37 seconds remaining. Eagles with 1 timeout left. Seattle with 2. Tie ball game, 10 apiece. 1st and 10 from the 45. Cunningham drills it complete to Williams. And Williams out of bounds at about the 47.
This is where, as a defensive coach, you have a lot of insecurity. Everybody says, "Boy, don't play that prevent defense. Go after him." But you know, you've got a guy like Barnett sitting out on the left side, and you got to have help on him. You can't blitz and give him a chance to make the big play for a touchdown.
2nd and 2. Cunningham with time. 1st down pass to Williams, and Williams out of bounds at the 40.
The thing there is they were able to get the short pass completed and get out of bounds without using the timeouts. That's important because that gives them an opportunity if Randall Cunningham decides to scramble to take the last timeout and still get a shot at a field goal.
And Ruzick warming up. I mentioned he's got a season long of 50 against Denver. 1st and 10 from the 40. And Cunningham runs it out of bounds and chased out of bounds by Robert Blackman. 21 seconds remaining. A pickup of only 2.
That time Cunningham, if he'd have cut back up the field, he might have gotten that ball down inside the 30 and would have had to take the last time out, but at least got them in field position, in field goal area. They're still about 5 to 7 yards away from it. So with 21 seconds left, 1 timeout left, they've got to get at least 1 more completion. And I'm sure that's what they're thinking.
2nd and 7 from the 37 of Seattle. Flag on the play. Might have gone against Philly.
Illegal procedure on Philadelphia. They had a couple of people moving. Backfield of motion. It might have been on Randall Cunningham because he was starting to back up before the ball was snapped.